Welcome to the channel, Farm with Nick. Thanks so much for joining me here on the map Hutan Pantai for a farm tour today. So, right now you can see I am on the starting farm here, and I actually built a custom farm, and I'm going to show you where it is first, and then I'll show you the farm, and then we'll do a tour around and I'll show you what I placed. So first, let me go into our map here. So if you've ever played on this one, it's really cool. I'm like kind of interested in trying some stuff on here. It's neat how back here in the far part of the map, you have like all those buildings and like the town kind of built into the mountain there. And you have all these fields, and then up here, you have a full-fledged city. So I actually thought, and if you look carefully, there is one field right here, which is 22 on the map, and there is actually nothing there. It's actually just an open field. So here is the starting farm, which I've seen a lot of people play on, which is really cool. It's kind of out of the city though, kind of on its own. But if I just kind of fly over to our city here, this is just so detailed and so like immersive. I thought I wanted to build something like really close to the city, and I wanted to put something that would fit kind of the theme and the style if I was going to build something up here. So I actually built a farm right here on this field that's right here next to the city. So it's not your average build, it's something a little bit unique, and my reasoning for building something right here was to make something that was more of an attraction, so to speak. And if you're in the city here and you were kind of, you know, visiting and you were right here kind of on the outskirts, maybe there would be an attraction there that you would actually go visit. So I have my side-by-side over here already. I'll just teleport over. I'm going to take this empty field, and I'll kind of get from this kind of view here. I'm going to take this whole field from this into this. So, welcome to my custom farm here on Hutan Pantai. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And you can see I have transformed this whole open lot into an attraction. Now, let me jump into just our build mode here, just so you can see. So I took this open lot from this road all the way to the end of our lot to this road, and I have built a custom farm here, and this is an attraction, and it would probably be, you know, closer to like a petting zoo, kind of children's zoo type thing, and I'm just really pleased with it. You can kind of see I tried to mask it and, you know, make it part of the actual city. So if you were visiting the city, just on the outskirts is our attraction slash like children's zoo. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. Something a little bit different than probably what you're used to seeing on my channel, and that's okay. I just wanted to try something different and something a little bit unique for this build, just because of the fact that you actually have this really awesome build here in city. Now I wish some of these details, you know, look at all these different shop decorations, the little cafes, the phone booths, the vending machines. I wish some of that was available to us. However, I made the best of it, and here's my build. So let me give you a quick little flyover at the very end, and I'll kind of show you some of it. But let's go over our over my build here and show you what I came up with. So this is my main entrance here, and You can see we have a parking lot here, and some little lights there, and as you come up to the attraction here, you have a house right on the right. Now this would actually be my actual house. That's one of the farmhouses in the game, but it's really more of my visitor center. And then right here, straight in front of me, this would be my cafe area slash like gift shop area. So over here, I have some outdoor seating if it's nice out. And then kind of go back over here. And then we have our visitor center here with some benches, so you can kind of wait. And then that kind of leads you into our entrance of the park and the zoo. So it looks really good. I'm really happy with how it kind of turned out. Let's go over to the side-by-side here and kind of drive you around. So I added a lot of details. I wasn't gonna make this build with you. I just wanted to give you a tour still of it. And the reason being is just I put in, I think it's close to 6 hours of real time on this build. So it's been a work in progress to say the least. So let's go over here, and this is the back of my cafe slash gift shop area. Have some more seating, you can get your pictures, and then this is one of the entrances into the area here. You can also get a picture right here behind the sign, and this is the same stuff that was in Riverbend Springs. Get your picture taken there. And then if I kind of just run back over here behind our visitor center, have some other stuff here. Another little vehicle there to kind of drive around when people are here, just so it's not a bigger vehicle kind of taking up my pathway. And then you can enter on the opposite side as well. And then I have some swing sets and some tire swings for the kids. So I like how there's like the double entrance. That way it kind of alleviates some, traffic congestion. Alright, and let's go the right side first, just kind of show you this way. So I put some swings and benches here, some tire swings, and then we come up on our first kind of attraction to come see is our little bee farm here. So I put down this little display here. We have bees, and then you could kind of show your visitors, about honey and pollination, all that good stuff. And you can see my pathways are barely big enough for the side-by-side, but that was by design, and it's really meant for, obviously, walking. And then we have our main barn right here, which you can actually go into. It does work, and I didn't put anything in there, but I kind of am pretending that would be more exhibits and stuff in there, and or it could be like other small animals that you could go see, and maybe they have like another little food station in there, that kind of stuff. And you can see my little sign right there. It says this way, so yes, I'm going the wrong way. But over here I have some other benches, and I have a little tugboat, so you could come this way and take some boat rides on the pond. And that's why I have some other benches on the other side as well. And let's keep going. And we'll stay on this left side here. So our first animal pen here is some water buffalo. Have some calves and a couple older ones in there, so you can get your pictures or kind of check them out. And then let's kind of go to the opposite side. So this is behind where the bees are. I have one of my first service drives right here that comes in off the road, and have some benches here where you could get a horse ride, actually. So you can see I have a path kind of just as a loop there around their pen, But you can pay for horse rides. You can sit here, and I just have 3 horses in there right now. And you can watch your child get a little horse ride around. So my next thing right here is a little sitting area. So if you come out of this main barn here, you can go into here, some gates, and I kind of decorated this, and it goes around. There's seating here, there's some birds, bird houses. You can get your picture taken. You can exit out of this way if you want, another gate. And then I have some lights here for at night. You can still sit here, kind of look at the animals, all that good stuff. And then let's keep going forward here. Alright, so I'll come back around this way in a second. Let's go over here. So this is just past our calf, or water buffalo calves, in their enclosure. So I have another animal pen here, and in here we have little baby lambs, and we have, I think I do, yes, a couple little kids, or little baby goats. So they're right here. And in their enclosure, you could sit right here on the benches, watch them, or same thing, get your picture taken. With the little ones behind you. And the little bench here, you can sit and watch the water buffalo kind of jump around and leap. There you go, right on cue. Look at that. And then just a little path walking around here and get your picture taken. And then that just kind of loops back this way here. And there's a lot of little details I'm hopefully you're kind of noticing here, and I'll come back here and point some of the things out about this build that kind of make it unique, and kind of show you some of the stuff that I added if you're not noticing it right now, which is okay. And then in this barn we have our pigs. So most of them are in the barn, I can see right now. Just the one on camera is out right now, but there are a handful of pigs in there for the guests to see. And then if I go straight, you'll notice I have a couple different chicken pens. One is just an open pen here. So there's a couple roosters, mostly hens, and there's some baby chicks in there. And then this pen here is just for raising out and kind of like the brooding pen for our little baby chicks. And then once they get big enough, we would move them into our large open pen there. And then this path here behind our horse barn, excuse me, actually comes to another service drive that you have access to the road. And then also comes up to our horses here. So you can access and get into the horse pen this way. And you can see I have a couple other access points to the horses. There's another gate in front of me there, and then there's another gate just kind of straight ahead that way too. Alright, we don't want them escaping. Alright, so we'll come back this way here. And then I have another service drive you can see right in front of me there off the road. So I have this kind of gated off. That way you wouldn't have guests going this way. But this service drive that I'm on right now would be more for having the actual like animal trailers coming back this way, and having different trailers come through for feed and or water. So that's my idea. So we'll hop in our side-by-side. Let's go back this way. So here's where the terrain changes again here. So if you notice, all the paths, and I'll show you more in a second, but all the paths that are the walking paths for where you'd have the guest are all the cement kind of square blocks. Then you'll notice all the service paths that would be for employees and or me are gravel. So I did that intention, that way people aren't having to walk on the gravel all the time. So if I go straight, now we're kind of back where I would keep some of the equipment for taking care of everything. So we have a water tower right there. I did put in some small silos, and then we'll keep going straight here. We'll come back around, do a loop. Have another silo there, have a fuel tank right there, and this is my access to the road here, and this is more for just me and not having to drive through all the animal pens. I can just come right back to the maintenance area here. So we have one maintenance barn here, have a flatbed truck in there, and then we'll go back this way. So if you go straight, then I have a trailer here. I have some bales already purchased, so you can see the straw, have some hay, have some silage, and then loop back this way. And then I have another big barn here, and I have two tractors as of right now. One with a scoop on it, one with a bale spike on it. So plenty of room, and I have even more room. I can put some more stuff in there, more equipment. Then I have another little silo here for feed. I have a washer right there for vehicles. Another silo. Have some debris and some wood there used for some construction projects. And we'll go this way, and this just does a loop around, and then some other stuff, and then there's a trailer right there for servicing vehicles. And then I have this fence here just as a reminder to guests that this is more of like the maintenance area. So I just put a fence in just a little bit, that way it's kind of blocked off from the rest of the lot there. Alright, so let me go down our maintenance road here and get out, and let me show you another kind of path that goes around our attraction here. So if you come out this way, you'll come onto the main road here that kind of goes into the city. Oh shoot, and then I'm gonna lock myself out. There we go. Alright, so coming out of our service maintenance drive there, if you're coming up the road, there's that other service area for the animals, and then if you go right down the one way here, you can see our farm there on the right. So here's another access point to get into if you need it, and that's all just gravel there. But if you notice, if you're looking straight with me right now, I actually put another kind of secret service drive right here. I have lights on it as well. That way I can drive up through the farm this way, and look at that, I am back to the very front. So I really like that, and that is something I thought about a little bit later, and I moved my visitor center over. That way I can drive through here, I can go straight, and then I can get all the way to the back there to our maintenance buildings. So I really like that, and that way if I jump into the build mode, it's not like you're here in the front. You have to drive all the way around, and yeah, this is a one-way, and oops, this is a one-way right here too. See, you have to drive even further then. You have to go around the back way, or if you go through the city, you really have to kind of go all the way around through here and then try to loop your way back up. So it's just a way to kind of cut through, even though I know this road is a one-way, if you remember me kind of going through this way just a minute ago. However, there's very little traffic, so if I have to pull on the sidewalk to let them through, that's okay. It actually works out okay. Alright, so let me show you some of the details and little things with this farm build that kind of make it very unique. So first, in our parking lot here, I just have gravel. Then as I go this way, I have that concrete. And then here, I put in that kind of like stone pathway for the guest. And I did that over here as well. Make it more, I don't know, kind of easier to look at and then probably easier to walk on. So let's go over here. And another thing, if you noticed, this pathway, I've graveled it the first time. And then the second time I went through, I actually placed the concrete. So it kind of gave it that texture, and you see some of the gravel on the side. But I really like how that turned out. Instead of just placing the cement the first time, you can see it has some gravel patches as you get off the side of the cement. So I really like how that looks, and I love how that turned out. I really like that a lot. Okay, and let's go back up here. And some other things you might have noticed. I use some different fencing throughout this build. Now, if you've kind of explored this map, there's a lot of different fencing throughout the city, and not just the city. There's that town up the hill. A lot of different fencing. So, with the theme of that, we have our darker fence, kind of like the decorated design here. That kind of goes around my service road here. I have the white picket fence, and that's just to help, stand off with the building and for aesthetic purposes. I also have this smaller little brick fence with the two timber posts in between each, and that kind of helps offset some of the parking lot area with the cafe / gift shop area. And then the last one was the most fun, was this big brick fence that I put in going around the lot. So this is how close I could get to the waterway. And then over here, I switched it to the brick as well. That way, if you were walking alongside it, you can't just automatically see inside. Now, one tricky thing with placing this brick wall was trying to get these gates in, honestly. It did take me some time, but I think it turned out really great. I mean, unless I pointed out, like right here, there is a little gap. This one is much better, but it was challenging enough trying to do that, and I think it turned out great with that. So I'm really happy with that. I kind of kept with the theme, and like if you noticed in my little sitting courtyard area here, I also changed the fence as well. So I tried to keep, with that tree there, I tried to keep with that theme of where the map was already at from Giants. Okay, so my next thing, let me go through and just click on the buildings. That way you can see what I placed down, and feel free to pause it. So this is the farmhouse that I told you about in the beginning. I chose this one because it does look kind of like, it's too big almost for a regular farmhouse, but it could be a visitor center. So that was my thinking with that. And then this one here is just called Farm Barn, and I'm pretty sure that was just under decorations, if I'm not mistaken. So I have that as my gift shop / cafe. Then if I go forward here, with our little tugboat, I did put a pond in with one of the mods that came out. So this is just the round pond, and I think the texture and the color on that water is just absolutely stunning. I think it looks great. And then to have the city in the background, I think it fits really, really well. And then going this way, this decoration silo is from Riverbend, and it's just called decoration, but it's towards the bottom, kind of by the swimming pool. Then we have some other decorations there, and then our main attraction and barn is just called Farm Barn, but something that came out with FS25. And then I just put the sunflowers to help kind of offset it and tie it into our theme. And then I'll go this way. So we have our different little bees, and this is just one of the beehive rounds, so I put 2 of those in, and then I put 2 of these in. So these are the longer ones on the trees, or on the wood beams, and then I put a small little hive in as well, just to kind of decorate it there. And then we'll go this way, and this is one of our horse barns here that you can find under their pens, and this is a custom fence as well. And while I was building that, you can see I put in the gates there, and so as you're building, if you change the segment type, you can actually put in a gate while you're doing it. It actually works out really well, and it took me to figure that out on this build, actually. So I have 3 gates, 1, 2, and 3, and when I was making that custom pen, I actually just put it in then. It actually worked out really well. And then this way was our little courtyard area, a bunch of decorations, and like here's another one, this old water tower decoration there. And let's go this way, and this is just one of the regular cow pastures. And same thing, we have a custom pen here with our cattle in it. And then I put a little shed in here, small wooden garden shed, and kind of decorated that. So something for them if it's the bad weather out or windy, they just want to kind of get out of the way, they can go there. And then we have our next animal pen here. It's called the sheep barn, which also does hold goats. So I have that. And then next to that, we have our pigsty here. And I chose to have one where it was going to contain them in. And there's other ones that you could have that are open. And all of these pens, by the way, you could change out all these different animal pens and do something different. You know, kind of keep the basic theme or layout of the attraction, but you could change this to all horses or a cattle area farm attraction if you wanted to. So, or something with goats or sheep, really. Just kind of make it what you want. And then here is, oops, see if it's going to give me, well, it's one of our chicken pens. Now it's not highlighting it. Let me just start over. Yeah, it won't. Alright. But it will for this one. Alright, and this is just called a chicken pasture. So I put in 2 different chicken areas here. One for more visual representation, you could see the birds, and another for raising them out. And then back here we have our first maintenance barn, which is called Farm Barn. And I liked the blue doors, the blue roof kind of matched what was already here from Giant. So a nice way to kind of tie the farm in. And here is a small gravity fuel tank. And then I have another kind of silo here that you could use for different stuff. And then I have the American style silos. I did put in some different ones, but overall I put those back in just for my aesthetic purposes. That's what I liked, and you could always change those out. I have an old wind wheel, the one with the water tank behind them here. And then going this way, this is a mod that came out. It's a straw storage, so we can get all of our animals bedding and some of the water buffaloes feed. You can get that out of there. So I like how that is just right off of the road, and you kind of loop around and you can drop it off there. And then kind of continuing with our blue roof barn theme, we have another farm barn here, and this is the more open one, and honestly you can get a lot more in there, so I'm excited to kind of get some more equipment and try it out. And then the next one is the 30-ton silo, and that's a mod that came out. And then I have just another silo here for more kind of feed or different minerals stuff. And then, like I said, here I have a vehicle workshop next to some other decorations. And you can see throughout this build I put lights, and I changed the lights and the different light decorations based on where you are at in the park here. So I have like the smaller little lanterns here. I have even smaller ones, if you can see them right there, that's a light pole inside the courtyard. And then I even thought to have different ones here at the cafe, and then even different ones here for the parking lot. So, and yes, I do have some fancier ones here for our visitor center and the beginning part here of our gift shop. So something a little bit different, and I wanted to make sure I got those in as well, all the different lighting, because if you were playing on this, and I know there's no AI workers or AI guests, walking through my build here, but if you're playing on it, you would either be doing all your maintenance and feed in the morning, and then you would be doing it again in the evening after hours. That way you're not disrupting guests by kind of driving through here with all your stuff. And yes, if you're wondering, I did take I actually took this bale trailer and with some of the stuff, and I actually drove through my farm build here, and yes, I'm able to make it all the way through up to the front. And I was thinking of that, obviously, because I didn't want to place anything too close where I couldn't drive through here, or something was just a little bit, like the fence was too close to this barn, a little too tight. I didn't want something like that to happen. But yes, I already tested that out, so it works. So to kind of give you one last little overview here. So here is our city. And like I said, I was just like in awe with this. I mean, like right here, I think, yep, this is the farmer's market in there. So the proximity is very close. We have our eggs, we have some honey. You could always change out these cows to like a dairy operation even on here. You could switch out the horses as well. We'll have some, if I let the sheep get older, we'll have some wool from them. But the proximity to our cool city, it's right there. So I really wanted to build something, and hopefully it looks like it kind of ties in to what Giant's already put in here. So we have our main entrance here again, parking lot, our cafe / gift shop, our visitor center here, and plenty of benches to wait. And then driving around our visitor center is that extra service drive, and that loops into another service drive if we need access, all the way down into our animal service drive here, not to be mistaken with our maintenance drive that goes in this way. And I really like how this turned out and kind of loops around, and that way, like I said, you don't have to drive all the way through the park, but you can just go down the road here and up my service drive here, and you're back up. So that's really cool. And then as guests would enter, there's two options. Now the right and the left side, you have some swings, play sets for the kids. You have benches, so you can come and watch people get some boat rides, get some pictures in front of the pond. And then we have our main barn here, so maybe there'd be small animals, maybe another little cafe, snacks, maybe there's like other, like an insect, or maybe there's like, besides like having insects, or like you'd have like rabbits, you know, trying to think of something that would be in a closed off building, but there's many possibilities. And then we have our water buffalo pasture here. You can check them out. We have our bees here. Then we have our horse ride area there with some benches you can sit and watch. And then as you get out of our main barn here, you have a little courtyard area for sitting, relaxing, having your snack, have some trash bins. Hopefully they throw away their trash. And then going back this way to our left, we have our little lambs, little goats, and a little picture area there. And then we have our pigs, followed by our chickens and our baby chicks. And then another little drive going this way to get back to our maintenance area. So that will do it here on Hutan Pantai. So I'm really excited. This is a unique build, something different, something I really haven't seen much. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, if other people are doing these kind of builds, but something like maybe you wouldn't expect, but at the same time, hopefully when you see it, you go, oh yeah, that does make sense. You know, what else would you really want to build next to this, you know, beautiful city? You got these cool parks in here. Well, you would build an attraction, and that's what I thought of doing. Now, I know I am limited by what is out there still, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully it kind of made sense, and you go, oh yeah, that makes sense with, you know, what he was able to use. And, you know, if modders brought other animals, if you got ducks back again, if you know, you could add rabbits, or I don't know, have like peacocks or turkeys on the farm here. Like you could add all those. So it'd be really cool, and you could always keep expanding on this. So, and then another idea, I thought, you have plenty of room in this maintenance area. If you drive off of this way, you are right here next to the city by all these fields. So one of the cool things, obviously, about this map, if you haven't checked it out, is you can do the rice farming. So this would be a perfect area out here to do some of your rice farming to help supplement your income for the farm here. So that's a really cool idea, and something that you can kind of play around with, you know, if that's something you would like. So thank you again for joining me here on my farm tour. I apologize, I did not do a full, like, actual, you know, build, but as you can see, a lot of detail went into this, and there's no way I would have had time to put this all into one video. So I'll kind of do just one last drive around with you, and for this we'll just go right through our build. And another thing I wanted to tell you, if you would like a save game of this build, you absolutely can. All I ask is that you just send me an email and let me know if you'd like a save game of this build, if you want to kind of play around with it. If not, that is a-okay with me, and I can always send you one. My email is farmingwithnick20@gmail.com. So if you'd like a build of this to kind of play, go for it. So I'm excited with this build, and I hope you really enjoyed it. This is something that I've been working on kind of off camera here and there in my extra free time, and I hope you like it. So if you haven't joined the Farming with Nick channel yet, I'd love to have you kind of tag along here and follow some of my other series on Riverbend, or you can check out some of my other builds that I made on in FS25. And thanks so much for watching again. I hope you enjoyed it here, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks. Take care.